Listen, we've already supported your father with the decisions that he's made. That's what you do with the people that you love. But it's also important to let them know how their decisions are affecting you emotionally.
Well, maybe, but where do I get off telling Dad who to be involved with?
Well, I'm not telling you to tell him what to do or give him orders or anything. Just take a step back and look at what happened to our family, okay? Look at what happened when everything fell apart. How did you feel about that?
I feel bad.
Yeah, like there was something we should have done but didn't.
Oh, Tom, don't do that to yourself.
Look, I want them to be happy, but I just...
I'm worried.
Exactly.
Worried why?
Because it never happens. You know, something always goes wrong.
Yeah, like Rick. He hates Dad so much right now. Brooks' his mom. How is that supposed to work? It just always feels like Dad and Brooke are hanging by a piece of thread.
And that's not what you want for your father. I like Brooke, but it never felt between them the way that it felt between you.
Yeah, when we were together, it was never like that. Unless there were problems between you and Dad we never knew of.
Well, there was only one. And we certainly saw plenty of her.
I forgot to mention Dad's taking me out for lunch. He called me last night to make sure I remembered.
Oh, well, this presents a great opportunity.
To talk to Dad, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, he's gonna feel ambushed.
Why? We're not plotting, are we?
No, absolutely. What I don't want is any of this to look choreographed. Right? I just want you all to be real. Be genuine, you know? I don't want anybody doing anything over the top.
Your mother's right.
I was talking to you.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I don't want you pushing him away with any of that badgering.
My lips are sealed.
All we need to do is just show him where he's loved the most and where his family loves him and misses him.
But you really think Dad will come back home?
You know what? Your father might seem a little stoic, but deep down inside, he's just like everybody else. He wants to feel safe. He wants a life that's happy and where he feels loved. And we can remind him that he had that once with us.
Hey, Doc, I'm here to get Steffi.
Oh, I know. You had a lunch date.
Don't tell me something else came up.
No. Come on in. I'll explain.
I hope she didn't forget. That would fit right into my day at this point.
Why? What kind of day are you having?
One of those days that reminds you you're not as important to anyone as you think.
Well, I can assure you that is certainly not true.
Okay, well, just don't pay any mind to me.
So, what exactly happened? Does it have something to do with Brooke?
She asked me to move out. Rick was discharged from the hospital. Brooke's taking care of him at home. He doesn't really want me around.
So what? He just snaps his fingers and out you go?
Temporarily, that's all.
I don't know how many times I think I've heard you say temporarily, that's all.
Look, I may not like it. What am I supposed to do?
Well, I could answer that if you want me to. You want me to?
Taylor, he's her son. He's got a claim on her attention, I'm afraid.
I just don't know why you would choose to pick that kind of life. Why do you want to be one of the many objects in Brooke's ever-shifting attention span?
Hey, sweetie, there you are. Let's talk about this later.
Actually, I think we better talk about this now.
Look, there isn't much more to be said about this situation with Rick. Thomas!
Hey.
Nobody told me you were in town.
Well, Mom called and I came home.
Yeah, Phoebe could have been here too. She's gotten a flight.
And it's not just Taylor who wants you back. Everybody does.
What? Do you think that's odd that I would actually tell my family how I feel about things? I mean, I just expressed my feelings and I found out I'm not alone. Ridge, you just look so unhappy. You came over here just now to tell me how upset you are about Brooke doing this one more time to you, putting you on the back burner, like she doesn't have time for you, she doesn't have a place for you.
And this isn't a plot. This isn't why I wanted to go out for lunch. It's just that we all started talking and we figured out a few things. Number one, we miss all of us together as a family.
And number two, nobody can relax when you're with Brooke. We know you love her, and so do we, but we also know that something bad is gonna happen.
Yeah, you taught me not all fantasies could come true or should come true, but maybe what you're trying to have with Brooke and it's just not succeeding, it isn't good for you.
Look, I know why you might feel this way, but I am the only one that can make this judgment.
So then, why not do that right now. It just takes a little good judgment. That's all it really takes. So, I don't know, just look back at the family the way it was, and I don't know, I think you would agree that that was the most centered, the happiest time in your life. One of them, right?
Yes, yes, of course it was.
And your life with Brooke? Which one of us would you say made you feel more secure? Like you didn't have to worry about next week or next month or next year if you would be surrounded by the same people, the exact same people who love you and value you. And that you didn't have to worry all the time that there was some other man threatening your marriage. Or that your children didn't look up to you and didn't respect you. So, those are the things you have to look at. If you were talking to someone that you cared about, and you wanted them to think about those things, what would you tell them to do? Come on.
I'm not really prepared to have this conversation.
Why not? How much worse do things have to get, really, Ridge? Look at it. Here you are, a father of 4. You're a world-renowned designer. You're one of the wealthiest, most photographed men in L.A. And here you are, homeless, living out of your car.
I'm not living out of my car.
And here we are, having never wanted you to go away. We never stopped wanting you to come back. And we're telling you that home doesn't feel like home without you here. So, just come home.
Did you orchestrate all this?
No. I would have if I thought I could get away with it.
Yeah, Dad, she didn't.
And nobody planned anything. We just kind of just let our guard down and found out we had the same wish, the same secret. You remember what I told you?
Yes, I do.
I mean, I just hoped you and Mom would get back together. And I know it's selfish, I do. But I'm not asking for my childhood back. That was great, but it's done. And I love who I am and who Thomas and Phoebe are. I just miss all of us together. It's kind of like we had the same nervous system.
Yeah, whatever happened to one of us rippled through the whole family. You know, we were that connected. And I never felt alone, even when the girls were away at school.
Yeah, neither did we. Is that the same feeling you're trying to give RJ by marrying Brooke? Because that I would understand.
Oh, I would imagine that family dynamic is something that's completely different. You know, I mean, Brooke has 4 children by 4 different men, and they're really only connected through her.
Or maybe this fantasy was just all in my head. Maybe every kid thinks they have the most beautiful mom and the smartest, handsomest dad. Maybe every family's special, and there's nothing special about ours. Or do you even remember it that way?
Yeah, I do remember it.
Then don't you ever miss it too?
Those were wonderful times when you kids were growing up. But it's not right to hang on to a happiness that's past. You give every season of your life its due, you live it to its fullest, and then you have to let go.
Well, is that what you're doing, honey? Are you trying to hang on to a moment of happiness with Brooke that's past? Because I don't think anybody here sees anything about that relationship that makes them want to jump for joy. I mean, Rick has always been a pain in the ass, but Nick has become kind of a revolving door, it seems to me, that through which your relationship with Brooke continuously goes. And now she wants you to raise his baby. So where does happily ever after fit into that? And we're not even going to mention the in-laws. I'm not going to go there. It's just all so chaotic. And I'm not criticizing Brooke. I think everyone here just wants to try and understand the dynamic of that relationship. Because it seems to everybody here that with you and Brooke, it's just get together, break up, get together, break up, and, just a whole lot of disappointment left over for you.
But it's because he loves Brooke.
Yes, I do. Is that so difficult to understand?
No, of course not. That's why I had to let you go. That's one thing I've learned, is that you can't argue with love. And I want to take that a step further, though, because you and I have been through a lot. And, well, it gets kind of dicey here because we know that the connection between love and happiness, it doesn't guarantee it. I mean, after we broke up, I was in love, and there was more unhappiness than not. Does that sound familiar?